Hey everyone, this is Chris Laye, owner of Prime Property Lending. One of the things that we excel at when it comes to mortgage lending is bank statement loans. I know there's probably a lot of confusion out there about what a bank statement loan actually is and who it's for. So I wanted to discuss that with you today. Bank statement loans are for individuals that are self-employed. And the reason bank statement loans exist is because traditional tax returns, with the way that we calculate income in the mortgage world, is we take on tax returns line 31. And so basically what that is your revenue minus your expenses. It's your profit on that line 31. And typically the issue we have from a qualification standpoint is most self-employed borrowers tend to write off as much as they possibly can and therefore save them money on taxes, which is great for reducing your tax liability. Not so great when it comes to mortgages. So for example, let's say you had $100,000 in revenue, you wrote off $70,000 in expenses, then you'd be left over with $30,000 on your line 31. And you can see that, especially if you're on your Schedule C for sole proprietorships. So take that 30K, we divide it by 12 months. Not incredibly easy to qualify for a mortgage these days with $30,000 in income. And so most self-employed borrowers actually make significantly more than that, but we can't prove it on tax returns. So here comes the bank statement loan. On the bank statement loans, what we typically do is we take 12 months or 24 months most recent bank statements, and we'll divide that by that length of time. So 12-month bank statements, we divide that by 12. We apply an expense factor ratio to that. The standard is 50%, but we can actually go all the way down to 10%. Somebody that might be a great fit for a bank statement loan is somebody in the construction world. So if you're a GC, right, you're building homes, you're going to have significant expenses. You're also going to have significant revenue. And if you were to write all those off on your tax returns, it's hard to qualify. But on the bank statement world, we're going to add up all those deposits over the past or most recent 12 months, apply an expense factor ratio to it, and then that'll have our total monthly income. And what we do with that income is we insert that, and then we take the liabilities off of your credit report. So we're not taking the expenses off the bank statements. We're taking your expenses based off your credit report. So I think we covered what is a bank statement loan, why we would use it, how many bank statements do you need, 12 months or 24 months is going to be the standard. We talked about how income is calculated. Another question I get frequently is, can I use multiple LLCs? Yes, you absolutely can. So maybe you own a roofing business and you own a construction company. Maybe you also do some renovations on the side. We can take all three of those LLCs and use them towards qualifying income. One of the biggest differences outside of how we calculate income compared to a conventional loan is also going to be, credit score and down payment. So credit score, we really want to see that 660 plus. I would honestly say 680 is going to be really on the low end there, just from a rate standpoint. And then down payment, we can go all the way down to 10% down. That being said, it would certainly behoove you to have at least 20% down. It's going to help you out on rate. It's going to help you out on qualifying. And, it's just going to be a much lower monthly payment than if you're trying to put 10% down, but it is possible. Employment history, we're going to want a minimum of 1 year. I would typically say 2 years is going to put you in a much better spot. And then debt to income, 55% is our max. I would stay below 50% if you can. That pretty much covers bank statements versus conventional loans. I've been happy to chat with anybody about self-employed loans. Like I said, something that we excel at Prime Property Lending. So reach out to me, shoot me a DM or give me a call. Thank y'all.